So welcome to New Traditions, to folk singer of extraordinary talent, and somebody who knows her folk music inside out and back to front. It is, of course, Fay Hield, and Fay is going to be on at the Artrix very shortly with her band, the Hurricane Party. So we welcome Fay. Now, tell us a little bit about the tour, first of all, Fay.
Well, we're starting in Sheffield on Saturday. That's where I live, and that's quite a nice, easy home gig for me. And then we're off up and down the country, going as far down as Exeter. Of course, we're passing through Bromsgrove on Monday, and we're going down to Eastleigh, over to Newbury, back up. We're everywhere. For a week.
Do you enjoy the actual sort of getting out there and travelling and meeting the different audiences?
Oh, I love it. I love life on the road because I do less of it because I've got a day job at the university here as well. So when I get to go out and tour, it's a really nice break for me.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we seem to have got the weather for you at the moment anyway, although they're telling me that it's going to be snowing over the weekend. So
it's snowing up here, yeah.
Oh, is it snowing already? Okay. Oh, well, we've got sunshine to greet you down in the Midlands. So now tell us, when people come along to see Fay Hield and the Hurricane Party, what exactly are they going to see on stage, Fay?
Well, it's a five-piece band. I'm the singer, and we do mostly traditional English, mostly folk music. So these are songs and stories that are hundreds of years old in the main, and they tell stories of love and death and murder and romance, and they kind of get to all the key human emotions, and there's some incredibly dramatic stories in there.
Yeah.
And the band includes traditional instruments like melodeons and fiddles and concertinas and things, but we've also got guitars and cello and stuff, so it kind of beefs it up. This is a sort of festival band lineup.
Yes, yeah. Now, I mean, we hear constantly about the sort of resurgence of folk music, which seems to happen about once every 5 years or so. But it's a constant thing, isn't it? Folk music never goes away, does it?
It never does, no. And there's loads in the academic world. There's loads of quarrels about words like revival, resurgence is a really good word, I think. And yeah, just rekindling interest as well in lots of people. This stuff's been around forever. You'll never get rid of people singing what the particular songs are, and this, that, and the other. People can collect and put down, but just the very human nature of people getting together and having a good sing, you'll never stop that.
No, absolutely. And of course, a lot of these songs, they may be hundreds of years old, as you say, but they have got a direct relevance to people's lives today as well, haven't they?
I think so, and I think that's why they survived. You know, there's so many songwriters out there that write songs. This body of material are the very best of those that people have bothered to remember and keep going. So these actual songs, it's really sort of natural selection of the fittest. You know, it's pretty Darwinian, really, if you think about it. Yeah. So they're picked and they survive because they touch those real base human instincts that are the same now as they were hundreds of years ago, to be honest. People always fall in love. People worry about the ends of life. You know, they're really key things, and they're exciting.
Yeah, yeah. And what is it about a song then that grabs you? What is it that makes you think, yeah, I think that's going to have a connection to an audience? Does it need to connect to you first?
Different things for different songs. There's some really lively, jumpy up and down, silly ones that are great for that sort of thing, or there's some really dramatic, horrible ones that make you stop in your tracks and think when you get it. I have to get a song really to enjoy singing it. So if it doesn't get me, I can't imagine how I'll convince an audience it's good. So very much I've got to understand it. Yeah. But yeah, there's loads of different motivations. For good chorus songs, it's great to get everybody singing, but that's not going to be necessarily as poignant as some of the big murder ballads that really question the validity of life. So I can't say there's a blueprint for a success. If we could, I suppose we'd all be folk stars.
Yeah. So it's a bit more organic. Now, so when are we going to see you in the recording studio again, Fay?
Well, we're actually putting a project together at the moment, which will be coming on the road sort of in the autumn time, I hope. So we're hoping to record for that in the summer. And that's a really interesting project with Cecil Sharp House down in London. They've got all the archives of the collectors that did that went out into the field, as they call it, and wrote down songs from these singers sort of the turn of the century, and they're scanning all that material and putting it online. So I've been commissioned to work with that material, which is quite exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, hoping to get something from that this year.
Because there is always this sort of I don't know whether it's a fundamental disagreement, but there are tensions there, aren't there, between the sort of traditional folk followers, if you like, who like to see the sort of interpretations of the music stay very much how they always have stayed, and then people who come along and actually see folk as an evolving movement, and the music as growing and developing as new instruments come along and as new recording techniques come along. Where do you see yourself in that?
Well, you're certainly right. There's a lot of different perspectives, and a lot of people care very deeply about their perspective and what they think is right about folk. But there really isn't a right and wrong, because it's just such a body of thought, really, and people's different opinions on it. And where I stand is a bit tricky, because academically I treat all those as perfectly valid opinions, so I don't really have a position academically where I stand in that. But personally, I sing the traditional old songs, because those are the ones that speak to me and they're the ones I like. I don't write new songs, and it's very rare that I sing modern singer-songwriter songs. It's not to say I disagree with people writing new songs in the folk idiom, they just don't hit me aesthetically in the same way as some of these classic old ones do. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. And as you say, I mean, one of the things about the folk tradition, if you like, is the fact that it is very much music of the people and for the people, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, and it's a bit strange sticking that on stage in some ways, so I really try and involve the audience as much as possible, like lots of folk artists do, with, singing choruses, talking directly to people, not trying to turn it into some kind of staged art form particularly. It's about people getting together and hearing live music and doing live music.
Well, long may that continue, and we look forward to welcoming you down at the Artrix on Monday, and I hope the weather keeps fine for you. And we ought to just mention the band as well, because you've got some wonderful musicians involved in the Hurricane Party, haven't you?
Oh, brilliant, yeah. Sam Sweeney and Andy Cuttin, they've both been up for or won the BBC Best Musician of the Year awards in various years. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Sam's from Bellahead and Andy plays with everybody, brilliant. So delighted to have them too. And we also have Roger Wilson, who is an amazing singer-songwriter and guitarist and fiddle player. He played with Martin Carthy and Wood Wilson Carthy a few years back, and he's various projects going on. He's great. And of course Rob Harbron, who is from Stroud, so not a million miles away from Bromsgrove, and he is probably the world's best English concertina player, an incredible musician. So absolutely delighted to have them with me. Excellent.
Well, we wish you all the very best with the tour. Look forward to hearing the new album when it's all put together, and we look forward to welcoming you down here at the Artrix in Bromsgrove on Monday. And thank you for speaking to us this morning.
You're very welcome.
That's all right. That's my pleasure. Thank you, Fay.